Okay, so I'm here with Caleb, and what I really wanted to do was have a discussion about South African fashion with someone who's based here and someone who is on ground and understands the fashion from an experience perspective. So really, I just want to chat to you about fashion here, the fashion culture in Cape Town, and just different brands here. So I think first we can start with the designers that everyone knows. So of course the big designers right now, there's like the big three as they're known, is Lukhanyo, Mdingi, Sindiso, Khumalo, and Thebe Magugu. So what do you think about their work, and why do you think so many people gravitate towards their work?
So of course South Africa has a big culture, a rich history, and there's so much stories to talk about, and they are doing it at the best possible way,
right.
Through their clothing, and I'm glad that this is getting noticed from around the world. I'm sure you have of course done some research, you have seen their work, and it's good to see one of our own doing it on such a high level and producing all the stuff that they have. It's very inspirational to many other creatives, other designers here. Of course, Cape Town is growing. In the fashion scene, stores are opening. It's really inspirational for me as a fellow designer as well, and starting up my own thing. It's quite nice for the global recognition. I mean, you in South Africa, who would have thought? Who would have thought? So yeah, it's quite interesting and captivating.
Yeah, it's really cool because coming to Cape Town, I've noticed that there's a difference between the fashion scene in Cape Town and Johannesburg. So like, I know Thebe Magugu is based in Johannesburg, but Lukhanyo and Sindiso are based in Cape Town. And Cape Town scene's more laid back, people take their time, it's more chill. I think Johannesburg is more like the New York of South Africa, everyone's like hustle and bustle. So what do you think are the differences? Do you think what I said was correct, or?
Yeah, it is quite correct. Everyone in Johannesburg, I feel like there's obviously a lot of money getting invested into Johannesburg, and money speaks. I mean, yeah, in Cape Town, it's quite difficult for us. There's not a lot of money being pumped into our brands and the stores. You know, all the celebrities, well-known people go to Johannesburg first. I mean, with concerts and everything, you hardly hear of them coming down to Cape Town. The scene is quite fast in Johannesburg, not just the fashion scene, but the party scene. All of, these things gel together. Everything is quite fast. Yeah, in Cape Town, it's laid back. People do take their time sometimes, but it's grown quite well. I mean, a few years back, the community wasn't that big, but it has grown to what you see now. The store opening, many stores around here opening, local brands making their stuff, whether it's just a few items. I mean, it's still inspiring quite a big deal on others. And yes, Cape Town is really coming up. Joburg needs to watch out, Joburg needs to watch out.
Yeah, so what I like about being in Cape Town, what I've noticed is that there's like a collaborative effort. So a lot of designers support each other in a way that in London, people support each other, but it's in cliques. You don't see like the whole scene. There's so much competition and so much like animosity between designers. Whereas the whole of Cape Town, it seems to be some sort of collaborative effort where if I go into a store, they'll recommend go to this store, see this designer. And that happens everywhere I go, and everyone seems to want to support each other. Why do you think fashion here is like that? Why is the fashion scene?
Well, everybody knows like our history over the past few years in the fashion industry. It's hard, and everyone, what I like about Cape Town, everyone wants to see each other winning. That's why we plug people onto what is supposed to be our major competitor. We plug them on because we want to see everyone winning. If we're all winning in Cape Town, that's just raising the standard and the bar, and just bringing more people into our space. So that's why I would say we represent Cape Town. Everyone is under one umbrella and want to see everyone else winning. So that is the best explanation I can give you.
So who are your favorite South African fashion designers and why?
That's a tough question. There's quite a few. I'd say Salih, which is Leaf Apparel. Luke Bell Doman, photographer and designer. He owns Lover Boys.
Yep.
I play for the soccer team as well. I'm gonna have to shout out them. When my brand starts, I'll say myself, but it's not there yet. Sol Regan, the guy that you spoke to earlier, is doing quite well. And yeah, Tebo, there's quite a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot. I know I'm missing a few names, but I'm sure people watching this would like to dig into the South African culture, do some research of their own, because I feel that's the best way you can learn, is doing research on your own.
Yeah.
And questioning this and that, and having to research and find those answers for yourself. That's the best way that you can learn.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I did ask you a crazy question. So mention all the designers in South Africa that you like. It's a bit of a crazy question, isn't it? But the point of this really is, I want people watching this to find out about new designers, because the thing about my channel has always been, when I make a video about new designers, it doesn't get a lot of views, but then people complain that, oh, why don't people support new designers? And that's the reason. So this kind of discussion we're having will reiterate the fact that, you know, we really want to promote a new market, because even Thebe Magugu, Lukhanyo, that are big, a lot of people still don't know about their work. Sindiso, Khumalo, people don't really know about her work, even though these are like the biggest designers in this country, right? So yeah, I just find it really crazy. But also the stores, I've noticed that the stores are like kind of curated. So even here at PPC, there's like a coffee shop down the end. There's a place where people can chill back there, and it sort of makes this vibe where you don't feel like you have to buy the clothes. You can just walk in, people chill out, and that's why we've seen people going in and out. It's like a cool space.
Yeah.
Why do you think the way the stores are set out in Cape Town is like that?
Because people just need a place to come out, you know. We were in a position where it was COVID, everyone was stuck indoors, and now that we can go out, like, what is the new spots?
Right.
And for these stores to have such an energy and vibe about them, having these, you know, chilled spots, coffee, there's also a DJ booth downstairs, music, you know, you can do anything when you come here. You can have conversation with friends, you can do some work in the store at the back at the coffee store. If you want some music, you can go downstairs. If you're looking to buy new items, there's some nice clothes in the store. It's just a hub for everything, you know. Like I said, this is home ground, using a football reference. This is home ground, so when I come here, when some of the friends come here, this is home to us, you know. It feels so comfortable, the energy is so good, and it's instilled in the store. So yeah, and it's a movement, you know. If someone else comes here and enjoys themselves, enjoys the conversation, it's not every time when you have to go out partying 110% like in Johannesburg. We're just looking to chill. This is a store that you come to, you meet some wonderful people, have some wonderful conversations, and that's how the store grows as well. You know, it's best when things are said through conversation, not just social media or pictures and that stuff. If you're enjoying yourself and you link up with some friends later on and you tell them, okay, yo, I actually had a nice time at this place called Pop.
People are going to go there, right?
Yeah, that's the best way to converse. So yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. So we talked about your favorite designers in South Africa, but I also want to know, outside of South Africa, what designers do you think you're inspired by, or what designers would you say you like their work?
So I'd start off with Virgil, because I felt like he done so much for us. Yeah. So much. And I feel, looking at it back now, of course, rest in peace to Virgil, felt like he was living every day like it's gonna be his last. Yeah. He was doing so much.
He was so hard. Like,
he was DJing, he was running Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, doing collabs with Nike
Off-White.
and IKEA, Off-White, crazy.
He was making furniture.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was like a superhero. And it started just with like some blank tees, hoodies and that stuff, and look how it's grown. And even like the websites that he has made, how to start your own brand, he really looked out for everyone, the next generation. And with the behind the scenes videos, vlogs of the fashion shows, how things get done, you learn quite a lot about that industry and how things are run. And I feel like he gave us the blueprint as well as the cheat codes to to that industry and how to move. And it just shows that you can do anything at the end of the day. So he's up there for me. I'd say Kanye to a certain extent. I don't really like what he's doing now. But Yeezy Seasons, there was quite some nice designs, and he's also quite inspirational to me. The way that he approached everything, like he went to actually do the work. He went to look up these famous designers, dig some more, do research. And I remember that Sway interview as well, like when he said he needs to educate himself. That's what a lot of us are doing as well, because we don't have all the money to go to a college or a fashion school. We're trying to educate ourselves, and when the time comes, that's why I'm also trying to educate myself with pattern designs, graphics. You're cutting out, that portion where you're supposed to spend money on this certain person to do that, and that. If you can do it yourself, you're just making it a lot cheaper and better for you. So yeah, he's done quite a lot. I'd say Margiela.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Love Margiela.
Very interesting. The way he approaches his shows, his designs, just his thought process. I'd say is quite interesting.
Yeah.
So here's
I
one.
know you, because we were speaking. You like a lot of the brands in Belgium, don't you?
Yes. It's quite nice. I like the shaping of everything, and the material also looks like quality things. I don't like spending like big money on something that has that material, that quality that you want, and that you feel a certain way when you're outside wearing it, and that's also like empowering, I would say. And you get a lot of confidence by the stuff that you wear as well. So if you're able to find something that has good quality and that's able to change your not yourself but your energy, like be positive, be confident in the way that you go about, and walking outside every morning with something that you like, that you feel comfortable in, that you know you're ready to take on the world. That's something that I look in a garment when I go shopping and that stuff. So yeah, I know there's a lot of other designers that are left out. Osha.
Oh, yeah, of course. If I start asking you, like, that's why it's fine. Like, I asked you who are your favorite designers. Of course, you probably have loads, but
them there as well. I actually have a memo on my phone because people's been asking me about this as well. So I actually have.
I'd love to see this memo actually.
Yeah, I'm always I'm always ready.
Where is on the list?
Yes, of course. Let me see if I can find it.
I love that you have all this. I'm exactly like that. That's how I have all my memos everywhere.
Hey, do I have it here? I don't. I have my own designs and that stuff, yes. So everybody comes to Cape Town and they feel like, oh, it's the best thing.
Yeah.
It's one of the top vacation spots and that stuff. Like there's nothing going on here that's wrong, but there is quite a lot that we still need to work on.
But that's of course because people, when they come here, they go to the touristy areas, right?
Yeah.
They don't go to the whole of Cape Town. Like they're probably not going to go into the townships, right? But something you mentioned earlier was really important, and it's you're talking about how Virgil inspires you. Virgil is also someone that really inspired me. But why I think you're so inspirational is because like a lot of the way people criticize fashion, I have an issue with it. And as a journalist, it's like a mentality I want to change. It's the way people judge designers. So people judge, let's say, an up-and-coming brand the way they would judge a Gucci collection, right? They'd be like, oh, it's basic, it's t-shirts. But people don't understand that not everyone has money, not everyone comes from money. And someone like me, when I was younger, if I wanted to start a brand, I would have to start from making t-shirts, because that's how you fund the brand and grow the brand till the point you can now make more complicated things. If you look at someone like Samuel Ross, A Cold War, big fan of the brand. I made videos breaking down and analyzing all the references in his work. But before he got to that point, he started with t-shirts because he's not from money. He can't just, go to a factory and create some fancy stuff that you'd see on a Dior runway. And it's so weird that people will so for example, Virgil, one of the criticisms was like, oh, he's a streetwear designer, he started making t-shirts. It's like, if you don't come from money, you have to start making t-shirts. This is not Gucci. Yeah. This is not, because a lot of those couturiers, the Christian Dior's, all these people come from money. Or even the ones that didn't come from money, people like Chanel, they became associated with people that came from money, and that's how they made it. So it's a really important thing, and that's why, because I think a lot of people don't understand why, let's say, a lot of black people or or people that come from areas that aren't, you know, upper class are really inspired by Virgil. And that's why I thought it was really good that you mentioned that.
I have to. He's done so much. Even that he's gone now, it's still like having a big impact on designers.
Yeah.
The next generation, like he gave us the blueprint. It's up to you to now go use that to your ability. He's done so much.
Yeah.
If you just check all the websites, I mean, this guy was a superhero to me. He's done so well.
And the thing I love about Virgil actually is the fact that he also stretched his hand to other people. He helped so many.
Where do you get the time for that?
It's an endless list of people that he helped. And someone who in South Africa is doing that. Well, all the designers are doing that, but being in Cape Town specifically, Lukhanyo and Mdingi, who obviously is one of the biggest brands here, he is now involved in helping a lot of up-and-coming designers and creatives, and he has like a really cool exhibition in Lemkes.
It's quite nice.
So yeah, what do you think about like what Lukhanyo is doing to sort of help designers in the fashion scene in Cape Town?
I mean, the way he planned out his exhibition, like going into that space, seeing the pattern designs, like the raw pattern designs, to see the references as well, to see the notes that he had. I mean, he's doing it at the highest level for people in Cape Town and South Africa. Just to see that and to see the process and how he has worked is very inspirational, and it just gives you more motivation to go about, you know, doing your own thing, but taking ideas from him. And he's doing the world. I mean, have you seen?
It's so amazing. Like, it's so good. You see the raw patterns, like you said.
Yeah.
He has some of the garments he's created. He has like images throughout all his time, like coming up in fashion, and pictures with different people that he's worked with in fashion. He has pictures of his like design process. There's like swatches of the fabric.
Yeah.
I love that so much, because I'm sure he realizes that, first of all, a lot of kids in Cape Town that aren't from upper class families, they've never had access to see these things. And he's really left the swatches and people can feel the fabrics and stuff. That is honestly one of the best exhibitions I've been to. And it's funny because, like in London, people will have really expensive exhibitions. They'll spend so much money and have all these massive projections, but it doesn't really, you don't feel it. The way when I went to that exhibition, I was really like inspired. I really felt like I understood his design process. I felt like I almost went through his design process. So
that's how it was
so
planned.
Cool.
I mean, to walk through it, going step to step, seeing his notes and his references, then to the pattern, making the raw patterns, then to the pictures, and then to the final garment. I mean, he's doing very well, and for us to see that, Cape Town guys to see that, it's quite nice, very inspirational. I also took quite some time going through his stuff to look at every single source that I could, to make sure that I'm not leaving anything out. And I'm quite happy that he's doing it in Cape Town, because I mean, there's a lot of people elsewhere that where they come up from and they go somewhere else because they made it, they don't really think about coming back and showing.
Love, what Lukhanyo is doing, because he's not, you know, it's not like he made it and then just like left or whatever. He stayed. This is something that Thebe Magugu also did, because I interviewed him one time and I asked him, why is it that you didn't move to Paris? Because you have the opportunity to move your production to Paris, and he actually wants to help, you know, the South African fashion scene grow and help the production, because him being a brand that's getting big and staying in South Africa is almost building the infrastructure as he's making these things, and that will help South African designers that come after. I really love that, and even just like the intelligence of South African designers. So someone like Thebe Magugu, when you look on his website, he has like references, all the references. He even has books that he recommends you to read with every collection. I'm not sure if people knew that. So yeah, they're just so intelligent. I find it crazy that people aren't talking about these designers the way they talk about, you know, Margiela. I think these designers are just as relevant in the conversation. I just think that they're not, because these things aren't covered. This is a conversation I've had with people that, let's say Couturier is from the, you know, last century, the really famous ones like Cristobal Balenciaga. These people were great, but also it's just the fact that Paris fashion was mainly what was covered at the time. So we have no idea what was going on in the 50s with in South Africa or Nigeria or Morocco. There could have been couturiers that were just as good, we just don't know because it wasn't covered, which is why I think it's really important now that we see fashion in a global way. It's about what's going on around the world, not just in Paris or Milan or London or New York. And that's why I love like the fact that I could come to Cape Town and see the fashion here.
Yeah, I'm also glad that you came. I mean, you're showing the people now exactly what we're up to.
Right.
We are coming up. And what you said about Thebe, people that's doing it, I think it's best like to do it here.
Right.
Like you said, to help our fashion culture and just the community here. It's just growing. You can see in the roots of Cape Town. It's just growing, and hopefully that inspires a lot of other people to continue what they're doing. I mean, you might have some bumps in the road, but that shouldn't be the end all and be all. And hopefully other people from around the world can also come visit Cape Town, see what we're about. And the thing is, we don't like to show off or to be that guy to like show everyone this, that. We just like be calm. You know, if you like it, if you like what you see, come enjoy it with us. This is a space for everyone. Yeah, we're inviting you over.
Yeah, thanks so much for talking to me. I really enjoyed this conversation. And even off camera, like the conversations we've had about all the different brands and stuff, I've really enjoyed being here. Of course, I go tomorrow, but it's been a great time just learning.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be here soon.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to come back, definitely.
Of course. Yeah, but I'm quite happy that you came here, exposing the Cape Town culture to the world, and you're doing it quite well. I've been watching your stuff for the longest time.
Thanks so much.
And yeah, you giving us a source of knowledge. I mean, you went to the school as well over there, and you're bridging the gap for a lot of people that aren't able to do these things. So I salute you for that, and I give you flowers.
Thanks. As you know, obviously I'm working on a fashion documentary that's going to cover a lot of the fashion in Cape Town. So you guys can actually watch it on the Views YouTube channel soon, so look out for that. And I'm sure all of you will enjoy it. You'll learn a lot about South African fashion, specifically in Cape Town. And I think it's really important that, once again, we look at fashion globally. It's not just about what's going on in Paris, in New York, in London, in Milan. Fashion is in every single country in the world, and that's how we should view fashion. It's global.